Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope.
This verse pretty much sums up my life. I always wanted to be a normal kid, having a normal life without worrying about life struggles and sicknesses, but it didn't turn out that way. I was born with a kidney failure that led me to think that life is unfair, that I am a mistake, that there's no good things there is for me. Questions like, is there hope for me? Will I be able to be successful in life? Does God really love me? Will I be able to hold my wife's hand, or will I be able to have a wife? I couldn't walk when I was 8 years old, and I had to go through a transplant surgery when I was 10, and trust me, it's not fun at all. Even though the transplant surgery was hugely successful, in order for me to get to walk again, I have to go through a physical therapy session. And yes, I cried every time I stood up because it was that painful. But God is faithful. I had a huge crush with soccer, and I eventually was able to get into the team. And when I was 15 years old, I was chosen to be the captain of the school team. And when I was 17, I actually went to semi-pro. After all the success experiences with soccer, I feel like God is calling me to be a pro soccer player. But after I moved to Dallas, Texas, it didn't happen that way. This is the time when I feel the compelling need to write a book, to tell people about God's grace and God's faithfulness in my life. So I wrote this book to share my life, that God is faithful, that He could turn trials into triumph, that He could turn me from a non-walking man into a walking man. I did my first book tour in Indonesia during summer 2013. I speak to several churches, and I would love to keep doing that just because I want to share the hope, the message of hope to all young people. I understand that it is hard to be thankful sometimes, that sometimes you don't feel that you're valuable, that sometimes you feel like you're a mistake. But I think that God has created you perfect in your imperfections. You're valuable, beautiful, just the way you are. God has a plan for you, a plan that you might not be able to see it, a plan that is far greater than you can ever imagine.
My name is Jonathan, and this is my story.